Let me get a drink of my green smoothie first, y'all, because I'm going to need all my energy for this one, y'all. It's been a minute since we done one of these videos. Shout out to Boathouse Farms, honey. Y'all know I love my green smoothie, honey. Got my 13 servings of fruit. Got my apple, pineapple, mango, banana, kiwi, garlic, barley grass, broccoli, spirulina, green tea, iron, magnesium, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, and vitamin C. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into y'all presidential nominee for the DNC, honey. I was so irritated I ain't even tuned into it. But we knew who was getting the nomination. Sleepy Joe. And then, unsurprisingly, Kamala, honey. Or, commonly mispronounced as Kamala. I've heard some people say, I used to say Kamala because I said, well, hell, if she's West Indian, I'm thinking Kamala. But it's, phonetically, it's Kamala. So Kamala Harris has been deemed the black pig. And y'all know how irritated I am with that because we done already exposed Kamala as not being a black woman. And it's not even about her posing to be biracial because her father is not even fully black. Like, matter of fact, her father is the... I mean, this is irritating me because my thing is this. I can see claiming Barack Obama because it's like, okay, not only is he half black, but he's African. He is visibly, phenotypically black. It's like he's so black looking that, hell, you would just think he's a light-skinned black man. Like, he got that Shamar Moore effect on me. Like, if he didn't tell you he was biracial, you wouldn't think he was biracial. So, it's like, I can understand with President Barack Obama. But with Kamala, it's like Kamala looked every bit of Asian with just a little splash of blackness, honey. Like, she's a quarter black, and we done already broke this down that her father is not only of Indian ancestry himself. Because this is what people is getting confused. People is confusing nationality with race and saying, well, he's Jamaican, he automatically got to be like Safari straight. Honey, have y'all not seen darn Kamala's father? Kamala's father is just as fair skinned with wavy darn hair as her. And then the mama has pure straight hair. Hell, I think the mama is actually darker than the father. But I guess some people just naturally think Jamaica is just all black and do not realize that you got white, you got white and Hispanic darn Jamaicans, like my favorite. Temperature, keeping you warm. Oh, I got the right, it's to turn you on. Oh, honey, I love me some Sean Paul, baby. But we know Sean Paul's a darn white Jamaican. Or, a white Hispanic Jamaican. And then you got Indian Jamaicans such as Kamala's father, who has admitted that his family actually used to own black slaves. So once again, yeah, there's some blackness up in that family, but it wasn't due to the way that you was thinking. So, like I said, it's like a quarter blackness, and I don't understand how in the world is she deemed like a full black woman with a quarter blackness, but nobody would ever take somebody such as myself as white, even though the average black American is a quarter white on average due to slavery. So you see how ridiculous it is for somebody like me to say I'm white because I got 25% white, which I don't. But if I did, it's like, would that, people would still look at me crazy if I started saying I'm white because I got 25% white ancestry. So why do we constantly give Kamala the black card for having approximately 25% African ancestry? Now, nobody is saying that she's not a minority because she's clearly of Asian descent. She got elected into the Senate as the first Asian American woman. The first Indian American woman. So it's like nobody's denying that she's a minority. But why does she keep going around claiming that she's black? So that what irritated me. But the second thing is the fact that, Biden felt compelled to choose a black woman for tokenism and symbolism. It's like, okay, this is Barack Obama 2.0 again. Have y'all not learned from the last time that you was able to fool black people the first time? Because we were so, enthused with a black image up in there. But after seeing Obama, now we need somebody who is black in color and in spirit. Honey, because not all skin folk is kin folk. Not all skin folk is kin folk, honey. We see that with Ben Carson's ass. We see that with Omarosa's ass, who's now trying to backpedal and flip back to the cookout, honey. So once again, not all skin folk is kin folk. And then you try to throw this quarter black person up on us. But the thing is this. Even if she was fully black, her policies and what she represents ain't black. Like, I did this video, I did the whole series all last year with breaking down everybody's platform. We even seen when the platforms change in real time on my channel. And Kamala Harris did not start adopting black issues until September. Now, she put in for her bid as president all the way at the beginning of the year in January, but we seen in real time she did not put no darn on black issues on, and matter of fact, she was on the Breakfast Club laughing it off, talking about she ain't doing nothing specifically for black people, this, that, and the third. But meanwhile, when Hispanics say they want something specifically for them, Native Americans is talking about more reparations, you're able to address them specifically. But black people, all of a sudden, you want to laugh and say, oh, no, you ain't doing nothing specifically for black people. But this is who y'all is claiming to be a black woman that's supposed to be for black people. Like I said, she could be as black as Senator Nina Turner. With those types of mindsets, I wouldn't want her. But yeah, like I said, she could be as black as Senator Nina Turner. And with those mindsets, I still wouldn't want her. Because once again, you're not about to give us a token black person just for the sake of it. And on the inside, they might as well be as white and darn on as wicked as darn on Joe Biden and truly is. And it's like people saying, oh, well, what he did was so long ago, this, that, and the third. But my thing is this, when has he changed? Now, it'd be something that, he was one way in the past and he's actually shown stuff in the presence that have shown a change. I'm not saying that somebody can't get redeemed, that somebody is not deserving of a second chance. But if we go into the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, the 2010s, and we ain't seen no change in Biden up until this point, what makes us believe that he's now going to change now? Like, this the same man, and RLM3, shout out to you, honey. I love you, honey. If y'all are not watching RML3, honey, I love him. He's a fellow doggone intellectual of my heart. Matter of fact, I just enjoy hearing him speak. I mean, he is so intellectually savvy in the way that he crafts his words together. Honey, he's just a pleasure to look at. If y'all are not watching RLM3, honey, I'm leaving the link down below. Like I said, I love his commentary. He's very much similar to moi, honey. He's the masculine, more thicker version of moi, where he does a combination of political talk videos, and then he also does the regular social media commentary and, the gossip and the tea on the housewives and stuff. But he does it in a similar style to me. So I really love RLM3. So y'all go check him out, honey. But yeah, he broke it down so good in this video. But I want to add my extra 2 cents on it about this tokenism. About the fact that, they think they seriously is about to darn on throw ethnically indigenous darn on brown skinned woman and claim that she's fully black and she knows the struggle comparable to somebody like a Nina Turner or somebody like the commentator Sanders, not to be confused with the wife of Bernie Sanders, but the black commentator that is dark skinned and whatnot. Like I said, just a slap in black people's face. Because name me the policy that Kamala had. Now, I gave her that the one about the mortality rate, but hell, she got that from Elizabeth Warren. Now, she did have one with the sewers and tackling, Flint, Michigan. That's the only one I can give her. Is the one where she was really talking about investing $100 billion in, taking out the rust and stuff in poor neighborhoods that affects our sewage and everything else, and really getting, tackling the corrupt water that is put in the black communities. I gave her that. But it took her to September to add that onto her policy. You had people like Marion Williamson and Elizabeth Warren who was on that from the jump. White women who was talking about more stuff that was beneficial to black people than somebody who's claiming to be black conveniently when it helps them. This is a woman who up until 2017 proudly announced solely about her Indian American heritage and only started claiming blackness within the past 3 years. Now, it'd be something different if she consistently highlighted her black ancestry, the 25%, which there is, up until this point. But this is somebody who just started doing it within the past 3 years. And understandably so. It's like her father was absentee. And then her father, come to find out, is not even a full black Jamaican. He's a darn on Indian Jamaican. And not only an Indian Jamaican, if you look into Kamala Harris' father's history, his family owned darn on black slaves. So you got Joe Biden, who is the author of the 1994 crime bill, who was pro-segregationist, who has not shown any change, who even in 2008 running against then Senator Obama threatened to punch darn gone Senator Obama in the face. Has he ever threatened to punch another darn gone candidate in the face just over political discourse? But because it was a black man running and you didn't agree with his stance on guns, you darn gone was a huge Second Amendment. And I'm a Second Amendment guns rights person too. So I didn't mind you sticking up for the gun rights, but did you really have to threaten to punch the man in the face? Did we overlook that? I guess because Obama overlooked it, we supposed to just darn gonna overlook it as well. It's bullshit. And then, like I said, what has he done that's really shown any darn gonna change? What has Kamala done? Honey, she still is facing darn gone critiques for darn going specifically after black women trying to put their children in better schools. But then you want to cry on the debate stage talking about, Joe Biden trying to prevent you from getting into a better darn gone school. And you was part of the second generation to desegregate your darn gone schools. But as soon as you got in the position of power, you was darn gone going after poor, innocent black women who were doing the same thing that your Indian mother was trying to do to you. They try to put you in a better school by any means necessary. So what happened to that sisterly empathy, Kamala? Soon as you got in a position of power as Attorney General, you don't forget where your origins came from. Now, you was on the debate stage trying to call out darn Joe Biden and failed miserably twice. Number one, on the segregation issue, which I was like, well, the irony of you trying to bring it up, and you got a whole history of locking up black. There are still some black women who are locked up under Kamala Harris orders. And then, hiding evidence and then letting the evidence come to light after the people done died in jail. This is who we supposed to have as a representative for black people? Like I said, honey, you would have been better off Joe Biden getting a full white person. Because once again, it's not about skin color. It's about what your policies are for the people. Once again, fuck a skin color. Because not all skin folk kin folk. And that's even if she was a full black woman, which she ain't. But like I said, I would have settled and still voted for him. We could have went with the lesser of two evils if he was indeed less evil than Trump. Now, y'all really going to hate me when I say this. Y'all know I can't stand that orange mother trucker. I can't. But if we really going to play the comparison game of all the despicable, deplorable, darn downright disgraceful things that Donald Trump has done, which there are plenty, y'all end up putting the one person who has politically have made Donald Trump look. I mean, the comparisons, how can I say it? There's really no comparison. Even with all the despicable things that Donald Trump has done, it pales in comparison to the atrocities that darn Joe Biden has been behind. Like I said, from the author of the crime bill to being pro-segregationist, and the list goes on and on and on. But like I said, what would have made me vote for Joe Biden? Like I said, it would have been a huge stretch. But y'all know I was Team Merriam-Webster. I know y'all go ahead and throw the hateration. But if I would have darn been knocking on Klansmen's doors, I would have been knocking on the Christian doors, the atheist doors. Honey, DivaWuan would have been in overtime getting people to the polls for Biden if somehow he would have chose Wilmington. But I know that would have been too much like right, honey. So, realistically, what could Joe Biden have done that would have secured him the win in November? Now, y'all know I can't stand this mug either because he ain't innocent either, even though y'all try to claim him to be the same. And this is where me and RMN3 disagree, because he's a huge supporter of Bernie Sanders and I'm not. Because Bernie Sanders got his bullshit with him too, claiming that, he came up off of, going to jail in defense of black people when he was a teenager. And it's like, I always challenge people who always pull up that and say, well, Bernie Sanders is damn near 80 years old. And the only time y'all can mention him being an advocate for black people is during the time where he was in his youth and did not have any political power. Can you tell me the policies that Bernie Sanders has pushed through that was very instrumental for the benefit of black people? Once again, please tell me what Bernie Sanders did once he got into power. See, everybody's all revolutionary for the people till they get into power. Oh, there goes my light, y'all. Hold on. Like I say, everybody's all revolutionary for the power until you get some power. Kamala Harris, she supposed to be for all the darn on desegregation until she get into power, and then she wants to darn on put innocent black women in jail for trying to send their children to the best schools. Joe Biden got advertising talking about he became a defense attorney to defend, innocent people. But then we got clips of you in the 90s when you well into your 50s at the time. So you don't get the excuse that, you was a young, naive person and you now saw the error of your ways. No, bitch. You back in the 90s, you was still twice the age that I am now. You was damn near 60 years old in the damn 90s. Defending your darn on rhetoric. So once again, we're not saying that nobody's too late to change, but once again, where has the change ever been? Because neither one of these two have shown any change from who they are. And we just supposed to go out for them because of Donald Trump, when realistically we compare the policies and from the black perspective. Honey, I would go as far as to say that darn on Biden and Kamala might be worse than darn on Donald Trump when it comes to black people. Now, here's where I'm a little bit conflicted, because as somebody of the LGBTQ community, I would definitely say we will do better under Biden / Kamala. But as a black person, and you want to see the blackness first, honey, before you see the transgender. Especially with this darn on clockable damn on facial hair. God damn. Especially with this clockable facial hair, you want to see the doggone queen first, honey. You want to see the flat titty queen. You want to see the blackness first before you see the LGBTQ status. So, as a black person, I don't feel comfortable under Kamala / Biden presidency. And I know y'all about to thumbs down and read me. And once again, I welcome it. Y'all know You know, as long as you come correct, you can go on in and disagree. Hell, you can even cuss me out as long as you keep it cute. As long as you don't throw no F-bombs or nothing, we good. This is why we here to have the conversation. I don't like people just staying quiet. This is why we have the conversation. I want to hear the honesty. Please tell me why Kamala and Biden is better than Donald Trump. And I'm not saying this as a Donald, because he ain't got my vote in November either. I done told you. I'm writing in as a protest vote. I'm putting Marion Williamson down there as a damn protest vote. I'm not neither voting for Biden nor damn Trump. So don't y'all get to saying that I'm a darn on token coon trying to defend Donald Trump, because he ain't got my vote either. But Biden, I would at least, I would have been pissed off. But I could have seen it if he would have had Elizabeth Warren. Because Elizabeth Warren was up on it. Y'all seen the platform. We done multiple videos on Elizabeth Warren on this. I once again go ahead and look through the videos. Elizabeth Warren, I would have easily voted. Who else? Tulsi Gabbard, okay, I could have seen it for him. Especially with doggone how old Sleepy Joe is. And, you know, him looking like he's, you know, not a sound mind. He looked like he's already 1 foot in the damn grave. So I would have really, okay, we could have went with Tulsi. Tulsi is the polar opposite. She young, vibrant, you know, Asian. So you would have had the brown skin up in there. You would have had the minority. She's the first woman to be a vice president, and she's the first Asian to be the vice president. Honey, so you would have still had your 2 hits off of doggone Tulsi. You would have had your 2 token hits, a woman and an Asian. And then she actually had some good sound, middle of the road policies. Amy Klobuchar could have been one, but you know, they done dug some dirt on Klobuchar. So, you know, y'all had to quickly throw her on off the pasture. But Tulsi, okay, we could have did with Tulsi. Like I said, she would have also been among the youngest VPs in history. So we could have did it with Tulsi. Who else we could have did it for? Like I said, Marion Williamson would have been a total dream, honey. Then that, like I said, that would have been a dream. I would have been uniting people left and right, honey. I would have been knocking on Klansmen doors, atheist doors, Christian doors, Luciferian doors, pagan doors. Honey, we would have been knocking on all the doors for a Williamson darn gone Biden ticket, honey. Because I know Williamson would have darn gone leaked off onto Biden as Pence has been leaking off to darn gone Donald Trump. Because, you know, Donald Trump was with all that bullshit prior to darn gone being with, you know, Pence. You know, he was really just saying the shit just to be salacious, just to get the old country hillbilly vote from the back alley woods mother truckers, and we know who they are. But, you know, he ain't really start, you know, sticking to those policies until he got with darn gone Pence. Pence is the one that be whispering in his ear. I believe if he didn't have Pence as a vice president, we wouldn't have got all these anti-darn gone LGBT policies put on us. I believe when that is coming through, that's Pence whispering in Trump's ear, honey. Matter of fact, if Trump wanted to really secure the vote, he would have darn gone ditched Pence as a darn gone president and would have went across the aisle and got some. Now that would have been one right there. Like I said, if Trump would have, the only way I could have seen myself voting for Trump is if once again, Williamson is the one that can just make it either way for either one. Because like I said, she's such a polarizing person that's the opposite of both of them, that she exudes such a good radiant spirit of vibrant, good policies. People think she's crazy, but once again, you look at those policies, it even put Bernie Sanders to shame. Bernie Sanders' policy, even among with universal health care, we did a whole 2-hour video, I believe, on the battle of the healthcare plans. Marion Williamson's policy came out the best out of all of them, even Bernie Sanders. So I believe if you would have put her as vice president, either one, honey, that's where I would have gone, honey. If Donald Trump was the ditch Pence and darn gonna put Williamson in his place, honey, I would vote for Donald Trump. If you put women sitting over there with Biden, I will vote for darn on Biden. Because I know her, she's just going to naturally exude and radiate off of them, and they're going to act accordingly, just like, that demon is acting accordingly with darn on Pence, honey. And darn on Trump done became a secret darn on puppet for darn on Pence. Pence is really darn on controlling everything behind the damn scenes, honey. And get that. I mean, Pence is the most quietest vice president I ever seen in history. But really, that's because he's the puppet master darn on pulling the strings behind the scenes. He get to throw all the stuff off on Trump at the end of the day and act like he ain't for any one of it, but he's just complicit because he's really the orchestrator, honey. He's the orchestrator of a lot of that shit, especially with the LGBTQ. So, like I said, I'm very conflicted because as somebody of the LGBTQ community, I definitely feel safer under Biden, but not by much. Donald Trump, I would feel safer if he was getting another vice president, but I don't see that. I don't see him dumping Pence. So it's like it's a lose-lose situation either way. Like I said, he would have got my vote, Sleepy Joe, if he would have gave Elizabeth Warren a nomination. I believe if you compare, and we have already done it on this channel, you compare Elizabeth Warren's platform up against Kamala Harris, honey, Kamala Harris don't stand a chance. Elizabeth Warren is where it's at when it comes to the overall policies. As somebody who has political tutorial experience and all of that, because I know y'all want to cancel out Merriam-Webster and say, well, she don't got no previous experience. Well, hell, Donald Trump ain't got no experience either. And look where we's at. So that was even more reason why I said, well, shoot, we need to get somebody who's the polar opposite and a pillar of good. Yeah, see, it sounded crazy when she was saying it, but now, when you think about it, it makes... It would have been great to have somebody who is the complete opposite of Trump and is a polarizing force of good for the people as opposed for evenness for the people. So, like I said, she would have been the dream candidate come true for me, honey. I told y'all, Williamson and Yang should have went as a third party. I believe both of them are so popular, and if you put them together, they would have been the first darn third party ticket where I will say they could have gave both the Democrats and the Republicans a run for their money. Because frankly, I'm over both parties. So my dream would have been if Yang and Williamson would have finally tackled the whole system and stopped because they end up settling for the lesser of two evils too. And saying, oh, well, we're going to go with the Democrats. But y'all know, both of them know that the Democrats are not that much better, though. So if you know that the system of the Democrats need fixing too, why not, uproot the whole, system by, going in as a third party. And that way you don't have no allegiance to either one. And then you can darn on consider reconstructing the whole thing from the ground up. And then you can push the progressives to darn on change the old, Democrats or whatever. Or the same thing with Republicans. Clean them up. I'm not saying that Republicans are, beyond reapproach either, because there are some good Republicans. They don't get mentioned because, the majority, the Republicans that voice their mouths like, that Mitch McConnell, honey. That looks like a walking ball sack. Look like a walking 80-year-old ball sack, honey. The ones like him just makes the whole party look bad. So, but like I said, the Democrats, they ain't too much better. So I would have rather seen darn on both Yang and Williamson come in as a whole third party. But like I said, that would have been too much like right. So where I'm at with darn on Biden and Kamala, I'm not. Like I said, tell me the policies that will make me think of Biden and Kamala in a different light. I'll wait. Tell me the reason why I should vote for them. And don't give me because they're better than Donald Trump. Honey, we done proven that anybody at this point could be possibly better than Donald Trump. Except for the one person that y'all put. It's like the bar is so low that everybody else that was running could have easily gotten doggone Donald Trump up out of there. Anybody that y'all put up on them, except for doggone Joe Biden. Y'all put the one person, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put the 25% black woman who has the worst. It's like, hell, you would have been better off putting Omarosa as the damn vice president at this point. Hell, darn gone, Kamala Harris makes darn gone Omarosa look good. Because, you know, Omarosa is deemed the darn gone TV black bitch, honey. But she ain't never done nothing political-wise. She ain't never really influenced no policies like darn gone Kamala has. So she makes darn gone Omarosa looks darn gone nice in comparison. So you get the two worst combinations to present the black people. To darn gone say, oh, well, we better vote for you or we're going to deal with 4 years of Trump. Hell, we might as well keep riding out with the damn devil. We already know how he's going to operate. But with a politically crafty motherfucker like darn gone Biden, even with that dementia, honey, he still got enough political savvy. And then you got a young, you know, a younger person who still got their mind with them, Kamala. Oh, them two together, they know how to rip up some darn old laws and then smile up in your face, but stabbing you in your back. The backstabbers, honey. And then would come out smelling like a rose. Because once again, up until like 2 minutes ago, most of y'all didn't even know that darn gone Biden was the author of the crime bill. Honey, darn gone Biden came out smelling so much like a rose that people was blaming Hilary Clinton. I was like, well, damn, how the hell Hilary Clinton get into this? See, and then we got to deal with the misogyny. I was like, well, damn. Darn going, Biden got so much white privilege, white male privilege, that he's able to pin the crime bill on the first lady, even though he was the head of the Senate that enforced the bill. Like, people is overlooking that it's the Senate that puts laws into motion, that the First Lady does not have any executive power at all, but somehow Hillary got more blame for the crime bill than the person who's the author of the crime bill, who was then the head of the Senate, who pushed the bill into damn law. And yeah, we can say that the crime bill initially was meant on a premise of good, of tackling, corruption in general. But once we seen that it was disproportionately affecting black people, it was up to, Biden and doggone Bernie, because Bernie was a part of the Senate that voted the shit in. Now, to his credit, later on, he did, try to correct it, I believe. But Biden was doubling down on it and on the doggone Senate floor. And he has yet to apologize for that decades later. But this supposed to be the person that's for the black people, just because he know a few token coons in the darn on NAACP, just because he knows a few people names in the Congressional Black Caucus. Honey, that's just like somebody with dementia. They can pull up some names from 40, 50 some years ago, but they act like they don't know nothing of recent times. They forget that they're still acting in the same way. Honey, this is somebody who in mid-sentence will forget what state he's campaigning in. And we supposed to think he's supposed to successfully go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump during the debates. Is we even still having the debates? It's like, it's less than 90 days until election. And we ain't seen a darn gone so much as a discussion of a virtual debate yet. So is we just going to not have any debates? Like, it's so many questions left unanswered. Like, when is the actual presidential debates going to happen? Because I want to see how Dementia Joe is going to go up against Donald Trump. Because one thing for certain, Donald Trump has the vernacular of a darn gone second grader. However, I will say he is one of the elites of television. So even with that second grade vocabulary, I think he can still speak circles around Biden in his current incapacitated state. He knows how to entertain and work the damn TV. Hell, he did it so much where he went up against the most qualified person to run for president, the most doggone political experienced person in the history to ever run, and he managed to slide right on up in there. But then again, Biden might have enough of that white male privilege where he might pose somewhat of a threat. I don't know. But like I said, it's sad all the way around for black people. That our saving grace supposed to be the main person who calls our darn on parents, and some of y'all, because I got some viewers who are 45 and up. He calls a lot of y'all to be caught up in the crack cocaine epidemic era. This supposed to be the saving grace for the black community. Really? So let's have a conversation. I want to know what supposed to make me vote for Biden / Kamala. Because I'm not with it. I'm not. And I don't think I ever be with it. Like I said, come November, I'm putting in a damn protest vote. I'm putting in a damn protest vote, and it is what it is. Like I said, the dream ticket would have been Wilmington and Yang. The settled ticket where I would have went and voted for Biden's ass would have been if he would have put not Kamala's stupid ass, but Elizabeth Warren. If he would have put Elizabeth Warren up in there, honey, I would have ran to the polls. If he would have put Tulsi, okay, I would have did a light walk to the polls. And hell, he could have even teamed up with Bernie Sanders. I wouldn't have gone to the polls. I'm just going to keep it real. He could have picked Bernie Sanders. I wouldn't have gone to the polls. But you know, there's so many Bernie bros, honey, that would have made up for my lack of vote that I believe he would have got it right then and there, because he got enough of the older generation mind warped, honey. Because a lot of the older folks are not even aware that darn Biden is the author of the crime bill, and they still blame Hilary Clinton, even though she did not have any executive authority to even propose anything. But she still gets some part of a blame for the crime bill. I just don't understand it. But the person who's the author gets away unscathed and now becomes loved by older black people over the age of 50. And then you got Bernie Sanders, who is, I think older than darn Biden or just a year younger. They both like 77, 78. He got all the young folks in the bag. So it's like between this one who got all the old ones and this one who got the young ones, the young naive ones, honey, they could have easily beat him. It's like, hell, y'all supposed to be friends and whatnot. You would have still had your Jewish person. So you would have had a minority on the ticket. But you know, you got it. You went into peer pressure and believed that you should have had a woman. You should have a black woman. So you done went into the peer pressure of Sunny Halston and Angela Rye and all these black women commentators who wanted a black woman so bad, but they failed to emphasize a black woman of substance, because every one of them black women who was screaming for a darn black VP, I personally felt they would have been better than darn Kamala. Y'all wanted a black woman so much, hell, y'all should have been proposing that y'all get put on the damn ticket. Hell, I would have seen it for Angela Rye. I would have seen it for Sunny Halston as the VP over darn Kamala's ass. But instead, y'all go darn praising somebody who's not even half of what you are. Like, let that make damn sense. Y'all darn worshiping somebody who is a quarter black as a full black woman. And that she supposed to know the struggle, even though she's an Indian American. But her father is Jamaican. Even though we know Jamaica is a nationality that is composed of many different races. Not just darn black. Not everybody in Jamaica look like Coolio, honey. And like I said, she come from a plantation owner of darn Indian slaveholders from her father's lineage. And I'm not saying that she should necessarily be blamed for what her father did, but genetic-wise, I'm not going to call her no darn black woman. She don't relate to my darn struggle. Just because, with them Asian genetics, because, the Asian folks derive from the Fan tribe of Africa. So they got a little bit of Africanness features because the origins of Asia do derive from African people. But, due to genetic mutation over time, they have turned into a whole different race of people. And under the social construct of what race is today, her type of brown cannot relate to my type of brown. So yes, we might share similar facial structure. We might share a similar bone structure and nose. But honey, at the end of the day, she is of a whole different race. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because like I said, at the end of the day, it's about what is up here and not what is here. It's about what you doing with this and what you doing with this as opposed to what you doing with this. Because like I said, I would have gladly voted for Elizabeth Warren's white ass over darn Kamala's fake black ass. I would have easily voted for Marion Williamson, another white woman, over darn Kamala. Two white women, pale blonde hair white women, brownish blonde for Marion Williamson. But I would have easily voted for those two white women who had more in favor of black people than darn Kamala ever has. And she posted so-called be black. Because once again, it's not about the skin color, it's about the actions. Once again, it's not about the symbolism, it's about the actions. We done learned our mistake with darn Obama thinking he supposed to be for black folks. And I don't know how we thought that when his black lineage comes from an absentee father. He comes from an absentee father who is from the continent of Africa. So does not even derive from black Americans. So he don't have no relation to the black American struggle of, having slavery ancestry. He don't have that connection of slavery and dealing with, the atrocities of what black people have to deal with historically from black America. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't face any racism. Because once again, dealing with racism for his skin color and dealing with cultural, bigotry is different. Because somebody who has a lineage directly from Africa is not going to have it the exact same way as somebody from America. Because you can trace your direct tribe from Africa. You can gain a connection to your tribe in Africa, Obama. But none of us black people, we can't go and, just up and leave. Because we have ancestry all the way back into the 1800s here. So it's like, we can't just up and leave like Obama could decide to up and leave. So, like I said, totally incomparable. Same thing with especially even worse with Kamala. Having 25% ancestry, DNA of African descent, if that. And that 25% more likely came from a black slave. Because y'all know slavery lasted well into the 1960s for some of the islands. Like we didn't hear about emancipation from, for Jamaica and Haiti and all of that until roughly around the 1960s. We started hearing about certain African countries in the West Indies seeking their independence. So it's like your darn little 25% more likely still came from somebody who was in slavery over there in Jamaica. But this is who we supposed to vote for, though. Like I said, I ain't blaming her for what her ancestors done, but I'm blaming her for what she's continued to do. It'll be something different if that's where you came from, but your actions show different. But honey, you moving in the same way. So how I supposed to gonna take you different? You ain't showed me nothing different, honey. So I don't want to hear nothing about I supposed to vote for her because I ain't heard no policies from either one of them that will make me as a black American vote for either one. So for me, like I said, come November, I'm putting in a damn protest vote. It is what it is. I'd love to know y'all thoughts on this. I know It's going to be a lot of disagreements. It's okay. I still love y'all. I do, because I know quite a few of y'all are proudly supporting, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I still don't view you no different. I won't view you no different. Hell, I had some people. Now, I did view some people different who said they was voting for Trump. It's like, okay, it's one thing to vote for Republican. It's another thing to vote for Trump. But that's a whole nother video, a whole nother day. But like I said, I'm not going to view you as different. I just want to know y'all thoughts on why are y'all voting for them. Is it because of, y'all wasn't aware? I wouldn't say ignorance is bliss, because, they have been so crafty of, concealing this information from the public. And a lot of people do not do their due diligence and research. I wouldn't say it's ignorance. I would just say you was just unaware. But now, after watching this video and becoming aware of the history of Kamala Harris, the history of Joe Biden, now that you have their full history, and the day they have not changed from who they are, if you're still voting for them, like I said, it's no hate over here. I just love to know, just tell me why. I'm not going to be mad or anything. Like I said, I know about 95% of my subscriber base is more likely voting for Biden than Harris. And I still want to love y'all the same. But I just want to know why. Let's have the discussion on why would y'all still vote for them under these circumstances where politically they are worse for black people. It is not even in my opinion. Just based off of the facts, they are actually worse for black people than Donald Trump. But yeah, leave y'all thoughts down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And I will see y'all soon with less controversial videos. Because, how excited I do love doing politic videos. It can become a mess at times. Because I know a lot of my subscribers lean directly solely to the left. And, I'm no longer a full left person. I'm not no Republican either. I'm somebody who is completely independent. And I view people based off of their policies only and how it aligns up with my views as opposed to a political party. So with that being said, I do know a lot of people are still faithful to the left. And, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't view y'all any different way. I just want to know the reason why y'all will still vote for these two after everything that I said. And, let's just have the conversation. So that is it, y'all. Feel free to thumbs up or which I guess I shouldn't even say the thumbs down, because I'm sure that's going to come. It is what it is. It is still to be available. When videos like this, some people take the thumbs up and thumbs down away. I don't care. Do y'all not see how many polarizing videos I have? Honey, y'all drugged me for fifth with my Michael Jackson video. And when I thought it couldn't get worse than that, honey, I did one with the girl with the dreadlocks. Honey, I think I got I think I got 70 thumbs down and only 10 or 12 thumbs up on that one. So I'm not opposed to a good doggone controversial, disagreement video. I guess this will be another one. So y'all feel free to thumbs down if you want, share, and I'll see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.